Hello fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today it is this gown that I'll be making in this video. It's a square neck with pleated box pleat gown, long gown. All right, now this is how the dress will be finished, which is the main reason I would like you to watch this video. See how it is neatly finished. Okay, it has a cap sleeve, all right, on the dress. The original dress does not have, but this one will be having a cap sleeve. All right, so neatly finished. All right, properly full lining. This is the fabric I'll be working with. Is a 3 yards original Ankara. The one on the style is a brocade. All right, so but this is our Ankara that I'll be using to cut that style. So this is 3 yards. So the first thing I'm doing is take out half yard, which I'll be using for the upper part of this dress, for the sleeve, for the how all the half length. All right, I'll be using half yards. Remember, it's 3 yards. The remaining 2.5 yards will be used for the down part of it. You can see the style is not that full, the pleat is not that full. So I'll fold it into two. Okay, so I will be starting with my shoulder, which is 8. My armhole depth, I'm working with 7.5. My half length is 16. All right, now this I'm using chalk, blue chalk. You may not be seeing it very well, but I believe when you cut you see it. So basically what I'm trying to get is my normal half length basics. Okay, that is what I'm trying to get. Now for this particular dress, you can go with any kind of dart you wish to, but for this I will be going with the normal waist dart. You can work with princess dart if you choose to. You can work with waist dart, armpit dart, any kind of dart you want to. We have so many of them. Anyone you choose is your choice, but for this dress it's just a simple dress. All right, so I will be working with the normal waist dart. So for my neck width, it is 3.5, and is a square neck. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. Now for the depth, I went for 6, 3.5 by 6. Okay, so I hope you can see it properly. Now maybe when cutting you equally see it when I'm done cutting. Now I'm cutting the side. The next thing is the waist. Now I haven't gotten my first part of the upper part. The next is for us to cut the back. The first one was the front. The next thing is for us to cut the back. The back is a high back, and it has zip. The zip on the at the back. So I will be considering the zip part of it when cutting. Okay, so I added 1 inches for my zip allowance for the cutting. Okay, so that is it. So if you have any question, feel free to drop it on the comment section. All right, now I usually slant my upper part by 1 inches. That is what I did now. All right, the waist part of it of the back. Then the next thing is for us to work on the neck. All right, you can see the both of them are together. I've not cut the neck. I usually like cutting my neck this way, so there won't be any mix up anywhere. All right, so my neck width as usual. My neck depth, I'll be going for the 6 inches I marked, remember. So but first thing, let's cut the back first. Remember, the back has high back, so that is what I cut now. After doing that, I'll go ahead and cut my square. Okay, to make sure you're in line, so you don't looking at it, it is giving me what I want. Okay, the next thing is to slant my shoulder. Once the shoulder is slanted, the upper part of it is ready, the front, the back is ready. Okay, so what I'll do next is place my line, get my lining and cut it. Remember I said it is full lining, properly tucked in, those kind of ready to wear finishing. All right, so that is what we are doing in this video. This is the lining I'm working with. All right, red, that is what I'm using. So I'll just go ahead and place the fabrics properly so we can trace them out and cut. So this is it. Trying to fold the lining properly. So I'm starting with the front. The front only has the unopened side, okay? So when placing the lining, you place it well. So just watch me while I cut out all the linings. So you can see I'm done cutting. So the next thing is for us to turn the lining. Now, for this kind of finishing, you place the lining on the front of the fabric, the right side of the fabric. That is where your lining will be. Then you sew. It's a square neck, so you have to sew it in a square way. All right, the way it is straight, go this way. That is what you do. Now I'll go ahead and sew that, including the back. Then this is it. Okay, now I sewed it. With equally top stitch it to give it a relaxing effect. When you top stitch your neck, it relaxes. And square neck has a way to top stitch. You don't top stitch, you don't sew the lining all around. Okay, you just follow the square the way it is. Know the point to stop. So the next thing is you join your shoulders. Okay, when you join your shoulder, this is it, here to here, here to here. Now where are you sewing? You're sewing lining to lining, fabric to fabric, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. This is what I did. You can see it. You can see it. This is the fabric to fabric. This is the lining to lining. You see them together? So good. Now the next thing is for us to place it very well. I don't know if you have not watched my other video of how I did the properly tucked in, ready-made finished lining. Is I think I'll be attaching it at the end of this video, so you equally watch it. The same finishing that I did there is what I'm doing here. All right, so this is it. You can see the excesses. Okay, so it's for our armhole. Placing it this way, we know where the lining is more and where is if we need to cut, we'll cut, trim the lining rather. Okay, that is why you place it first. All right, so but before we do that, we need to cut the short cap sleeve. Remember I said earlier it has a cap sleeve. The style on the picture does not have a cap sleeve, but she wants a short sleeve, a cap sleeve on it. So that is what I'm trying to cut here. All right, remember our cap sleeve is usually 5 inches, 4 inches at most, at least. Then another thing is it is folded into 4, but in this case I folded into 8 because I want it doubled. All right, I don't want to start folding the length, hemming it. No. So I first of all folded one, for the folding. I folded again. Say in total I folded into 8. So I will be having a short sleeve that does not need folding, that does not need the down part of it to be hemmed. That is the main idea. All right. So for those that do not know how to cut your cap sleeve, if you want me to make a proper video, I will be making that. Drop it on the comment section. Okay. So this is it. You can see what I'm doing. You just curve it. It's one of the easiest way you cut your sleeve. Okay, so that is it. This is how you cut your cap sleeve. Very easy. Now this is done. Do you see how it looks? Okay, not just this is how it looks. It is doubled, folded. I don't even need to fold it. Only these parts, I'll be sewing it on the fabric this way. Only the fabric. Only the fabric. This sewing will be done only on the fabric, not with the lining. This is it. I sewed it only on the fabric. The lining is not included. The lining is on its own. The lining is on its own. Only the fabric. That is where I attach this sleeve to. You can see the lining. You can see it. Now the next thing, you fold it this way. Fold your sleeve. But first, before you do that, you check if you need to trim the lining, especially at the armhole part. If you need to do it, you trim it. But if you do not need to trim it, by folding it to know where the lining will stop. If it stops right at where it should, you leave it. But if it's excess, you cut it. Okay, now that is what I checked, and for me it is okay. So I'll fold this way. You see it, where I need to get is here. You see where I'm holding, this is where I sewed the sleeve to. All right, the body of the dress. So you keep sewing it this way. It will not be easy, but you keep, it's not what you sew straight, it's curved. So you follow the curve and sew it all around this way. All right, with the lining. So you can see that. You can see what I sewed. Now the next thing is for us to turn it. How do you turn it? You start first, before you turn, notch it, cut it through. It's an armhole. It is curved and you've sewn on it. For it to relax properly, the best thing you do is curve it. The best thing you do is cut it, so it relaxes. Or you can see how it's just tiny cutting. It shouldn't get to the line where you sewed it. It shouldn't get to that line. Okay, so you cut, so you see that. Just tiny cutting for the armhole to relax. It is very important. It is very important, especially because of the kind of finishing you just did. It needs to relax. Okay, so once that is done, the next thing is for us to cut, to turn it and see how it looks. If you have any parts you think you should cut off, cut it off. All right, but make sure it does not get to the line where you sewed that joins the lining to the fabrics. It shouldn't get there, so you don't spoil it. All right, so this is me turning it. I started from the front pattern to turn it. See what I'm doing? You keep doing it this way until you bring it out. Now if you are using this kind of finishing where you tuck everything, you see zip should be the last thing you do. Zip should be the last thing, not just the zip. The sides should be the last you join, because you find it difficult. So this is the easiest way. Once you work on your neck, the next is your sleeve, your armhole. If you're attaching sleeve, you work on it. These are the first 2 steps. Okay, now you can see the outcome. You can see neatly tucked in. You can see the sleeve. I tucked in everything. Now this is the way this already made finished dress. This is the way. So you can see how it looks. The inside looks perfect. All right, it gives it that neat finishing. Okay, So I will equally go ahead and turn the other side. Okay, I just finished turning one side. So this is the second part. I've turned it. You see how it looks? So neat, so neat. Like, I'm loving it already. I love this kind of finishing. Okay, you see it neatly finished. All right, so that is it. The next thing you can see, I've joined the belt. There will be a belt. I've joined it equally because it is completely full lining, properly finished, all tucked in lining. All right, so the next is for us to shape the side. Like I said earlier, if you start with the neck, you move to the armhole. From the armhole, the next is the side. Follow these steps and you not have issues. Okay, so this is fabric to fabric that I'm placing. You can see how I'm placing. I'll sew here. I'll turn to the lining side and equally sew it. Lining to lining, fabric to fabric. All right. Whatever you sew, lining to line, make sure your lining is placed with the other lining. Fabric is placed with the other lining. Now, I've actually sewn it. This is how it looks. You can see the lining is still separate. The fabric is still separate. You see it? Neatly finished. So guys, if you have any question, feel free to drop it on the comment section. All right, and I will be sewing the darts, all right, on this dress. Remember I told you we are working with waist darts, so I'll just go ahead and sew the darts. This is how it looks. Okay, and this is one of the easiest way you finish your dress. Okay, it makes it neat and more professional. So this is it. If you have any question, feel free to drop it on the comment section. You can see the dart. I've sewn all the dart, both the back, both the front. I've sewn the dart the places they should be. It is our normal waist dart. Normal dart we sew on blouse, which is the waist one. Okay, so having done that, the next thing I'll do is remember our pleat, our box pleat. That is what is next. Okay, the box pleat is next. I've already pinned it. You see it? So, but if you don't know how to go about the pleats, let me know in the comment section, or I will be making a separate video for it. So, I've done the pleats. So, what I just need is attach it to the front part. Remember, fabric to fabric. I'm sewing this thing on only the fabric. It is not, the lining is not attached, only the fabric. I'm sewing the down part, the pleated of the Ankara, on the fabric. The lining, I kept it, like I removed the lining, fabric to fabric all the way. Okay, so I will be starting from the center to make sure the pleats fits properly and they are even where it should be. Okay, so let's do that. So guys, you can see the fabric is completely separate from the dress. The fabric is not part, the lining, sorry, is not part of it, what I'm sewing right now. I'm sewing only fabric to fabric. All right. So we are almost done with the pleats. So we are the last part of the pleats. You know, there are different types of pleats. Like I said, if you want a comprehensive video on pleats, I will be making that. All right. So this is it. You can see the lining is separate too. This is the body of the fabric. You can see the lining. I have not sewn anything. I did not attach anything. Now the next thing, I will be attaching the lining to the lining. Why is this last lining I'm attaching? What is it for? Is the lining of the down part. You know, we did pleat on the down. Therefore, we equally do pleat on the lining, but just that they will not be the same length, a shorter length. All right, so this lining I'm attaching now is the lining for the down part, but you will not be attaching it to the down of the fabric, but rather you'll be attaching it to the lining. So the lining too will have its own down part. That is why I said for you to finish this dress, have it in mind that it is lining to lining, fabric to fabric. Whatever you do on the fabric, get a lining and do it on the lining. Okay, lining to lining. So what I'm doing right now is sewing the down part, you know, equally pleated the way I pleated the down part. Okay, so let's do that. You can see that I'm starting from the center, you know, to make it even, to share it properly the way it should be. Okay, so this is it. So guys, remember, if you're still watching and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. I post different styles every day. And feel free to join our Telegram group. Our Telegram group is on the description. Go to our description section, you see our Telegram group, join it. Okay, now this is it. I usually do classes beginning of the year, so for those that look forward to free classes, all right, join the group. When it starts, you'll be notified. So this is it. I'm joining the lining together, making it one. So let's do that so you see how it looks. So guys, this is the end product. I'm done. Okay, the dress is ready. Please, I would have worn it on the dummy, but I was in a hurry. You know, I couldn't put it on the dummy for you to see. You are seeing the zip because the pattern of the finishing is not tucked in. Okay, the zip is not tucked in, but every other thing is tucked in. The zip was not available at the initial beginning of making this dress, so I couldn't tuck it in properly. So, but this is it. So if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. Now let's turn it to the, you know, let's see the lining. The only part you're seeing is the zip part. Every other part is completely, neatly sewn, covered. You see this? This is how you finish your ready-to-wear dresses. It makes it neat. This is how you finish it. You see how it looks? See this sleeve? Okay, you see that? So if you have any question, please do drop it on the comment section. All right, you see this? Neatly finished. The lining is properly tucked in. So when you see a properly tucked in lining, this is how it looks. You only see the lining, you don't see the sewing. Okay, so see you on my next video.